My name is Nora. As you start to move into child's pose, we have 60 minutes together here for this flow class. Multi-level, all-level flow, set to music, whether your own music, maybe any kind of playlist you like, or if you like to join in on Spotify, you can follow me. I do have a couple different playlists, perennial, flow at perennial, those types of things. There's 4 of them. Anyways, so if you'd like to pick some music, go ahead and start that as you move into child's pose. Take an exhale. The days keep coming, the moments keep passing. So as you're in this child's pose and start to arrive on your mat, take note of how much is moving through your mind. Things that constantly are go, go, go. Maybe invite those to pause. While you're in this child's pose, allow your belly to relax. Perhaps the crown of your head comes down to the mat. Rock that head right to left, left to right again, just a little bit so you can feel your third eye center on the mat, that point of intuition, point of clarity, really our guiding light. And once you're ready, let's start to focus on our breath. Remembering the breath will carry us through this practice. Slightly different than how it's carried you through your day unintentionally. Rather, we'll pull the breath in and we'll release the breath as we exhale. Allowing that breath to be what tethers us to the moment. When our thoughts start pulling us away, come back to our breath. Good. You can stay as you are. Start to walk your hands over towards the left side of your mat, reaching right fingertips up and over, sinking hips down and back through your right sit bone. Take a couple breaths here into that right side body. A couple years ago, I was gifted a beautiful orchid. My sister passed away, and my lovely friends at Perennial gifted me an orchid. Beautiful flower, had no idea it could rebloom. And I brought it to work so I could enjoy it every day. And one of my patients said, "You know, it will grow again." What? Never occurred to me. Take one more breath on this side. And then come back through center and walk those hands to the opposite side, reaching left fingertips up and over, rooting down and back through left sit bone. So sure enough, the patient says, "Let it sit. It will come back." So I sat for a year, over a year actually, and waited, and it bloomed. And I thought, heck, what if it happens again? So I trimmed it again, and right now I have an orchid with 6 full flowers on it. Let's come back to center. Good. Turn your palms up to the sky, and maybe set an intention for just a few moments this week that you can just let life occur. You can sit back. You can let things unfold and unravel in divine time. Of course, if your life or safety is at risk, divine time, that can be put on hold. But otherwise, an effort to just let things occur and unfold and unravel. Take a big breath in. Open your mouth and exhale. Good. So your hands back into the earth. Come up onto hands and knees for tabletop pose. Once you're in tabletop pose, spread your fingers wide, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Good. Now drop your belly, take your gaze forward and up. Breathe in. Exhale, arch your spine up, chin to chest. Good. Again, inhale, drop the belly, look forward, look up. Dropping the belly button towards the earth. Now exhale, go the opposite way, press into those hands, into the tops of the feet, arch the spine up. Good. Now start to move with your own breath through some cat and cows. Adding organic movements, maybe swaying hips side to side, stretching one leg long and then the next, stretching a little differently through your shoulders. Again, really feeling into what your body might need here on this evening, here in this morning, if you're catching this in the morning. Whatever it is, if you're quiet, you'll figure it out. Good, 2 more breaths. Come back to neutral spine. Keeping your tops of your feet on the mat, press your feet into the earth, lift your knees off the earth. So the tops of the feet are pressing down, hands are in the earth. Now press your spine up, just like you were in that angry cat pose. We're really turning our core on. So spine is arching up, hands on the earth, tops of feet on the earth, press down through those feet, arch the spine up, knees are off the earth, just a couple inches, lifting. 3, 2, good. Bring your knees down. Bring your left leg long behind you in the air. Stretch it out and long behind. Right arm stretched forward. Point your thumb up to the sky. Long diagonal energy from your right fingertips out your left heel. Good. Take a breath in. And then knee to elbow underneath you. Again, inhale, extend. Knee to the elbow. Extend. Knee to elbow. Extend. Right hand down, left knee, left elbow. Now hike it up to your tricep. Good, down to your wrist. Elbow, tricep, wrist, elbow, tricep. One more, wrist, elbow, tricep. Good, back down, knees together, behind you, tabletop pose. Right leg long, flex those right toes down. Start with both hands on the earth, pressing into both hands equally, and then left arm forward. Left thumb points upward. Draw your belly in. See if you can't keep your hips even. Notice how much work you're doing with that right arm to avoid collapsing into your shoulder. Press the earth away. Good. On your breath out, knee to the elbow underneath you. Again, extend. Knee to the elbow. One more, extend. Knee to the elbow. Extend out. Left hand down. Good. Now draw right knee, right elbow. Up to your tricep, down to your wrist. Elbow, tricep, down to the wrist. Elbow, tricep. One more, down to the wrist. Elbow, tricep. Good. Draw your knees back towards each other. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Hips up, hips back. Pedal into your dog. Notice the tension, the tight spots in your body. Maybe down dog feels amazing to you, or maybe it feels a little sticky. Without judging it, can you just see where you're at and maybe use that as a marker as we go through our class? Are you able to unsquint your eyes? You're able to release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Good, let's lift up high on our tiptoes and then heels towards the earth. Again, high on the toes, heels towards the mat. This time, high plank, pull forward, breathe in and pause, staying in a high plank, knowing that your knees can drop down to the mat at any point in our practice. Yogi's choice. With hands on the earth, press the earth away, front body really strong. Feel those legs engaged. Feel your belly strong. Good, think about drawing your pubic bone more towards your ribs. 3, 2, lower all the way to your belly. Slowly lowering. Cobra pose, toenails down. Inhale, lift your heart. And release. Again, inhale to lift. And release down. One more cobra, lift up. Press toenails down. Stay for your exhale. Lift a little bit higher. Turn your back body on with legs engaged. Good, now release your chin and chest down. Curl your toes under. Engage your legs so your knees are off the earth and press up, high plank. Downward dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Good, inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower to your belly or part way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Find that back bend. Downward facing dog. Good, one more of those. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Again, inhale. As you breathe out this time, move to the top of your mat, stepping or hopping. Halfway lift, it's a flat back, fingers maybe to your shins, and forward fold. Do that again, halfway lift, and fold down. This time, rise all the way to stand, drawing your feet together underneath you. Reach your arms all the way up overhead. Keep those arms up as you breathe out. Good, inhale, lift up a little higher. Exhale, fold down to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, high plank, flow all the way back to down dog. Knowing that at any point in our practice, you're welcome to skip the flow. You're welcome to add extra push-ups. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, move to the top of your mat. Half lift and fold down. Rise up all the way. Reach for the sky, little back bend, and then fold all the way back down using your exhale. Halfway lift. Vinyasa, find your way to down dog. We'll meet there together. And one more of those, big breath in. Breathe out, move to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. Rise up all the way, catching a back bend at the top, a little lightness through the heart, and then surrender all the way back down. Halfway lift. Hands plant, flow it back. Finding ourselves together in down dog for 3 breaths. Make sure those breaths are big. Not only the inhale, but also the exhale. Completely releasing. Good, shake your neck out. Good, draw your feet together behind you. Lift your right leg up, bend your right knee, and then start to lift your right knee up to the sky. So your hips start to stack. Finding a stretch through your side body, a stretch through your inner legs. Angle your right armpit down to the mat. It's natural for that right armpit to open up. Good, square the hips. Right leg long, stay here. Or right knee, right elbow. And then to your right wrist, slide it down. Lift it back to the elbow. Slide it to the wrist. Back to the elbow. Down to the wrist. One more to the elbow. Pause. Extend the leg high, down dog. Step forward, warrior 1. Rise up. Slowing it down just for a couple beats as we start to warm our bodies and find some of the length in our muscles. So in this warrior 1, all 10 toes are on the earth, both feet completely down. Left toe slightly pointed outwards as you press the earth away with that left leg behind you. Pull your right hip back in space like you're squaring your hips. Sink a little bit deeper in that front knee. Maybe look up to those hands. Good, hands to heart. Warrior 2. Open your hips and your heart. Staying deep in that front knee. Making an effort to pull the right knee open slightly. Yet also engaging through that back leg, almost like you could reach your left outer thigh up to the ceiling. Stay deep in the front knee. Yeah, start to notice the feeling. Good, straighten both legs, arms overhead, all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat, star pose. Pull the belly in, reach up. Good, warrior 2 to the back of your mat. Again, going through the body, using the breath. making the effort to use this practice as a way to dig deeper. Stay deep, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach those left fingertips up, maybe back, but up especially, finding length in the left side body. Good, one more breath. Cartwheel, hands down, flow. You're facing the back of your mat now. During our class, we'll be using our entire mat, rotating around, really making use of all of our space, changing our perspective just a little. Draw your feet together behind you. Left leg lifts. Bend your left knee. Lift the left knee up to the sky and then start to stack those hips. You can rotate the ankle. Check in with that right heel. Maybe lower the right heel to the earth. Notice the left armpit. Square it to the earth. Good. Square your hips. Left leg long. Stay here. Or knee to the tricep. Pause. Lower it to your wrist. Lift it to your tricep. Lower to the wrist. To the tricep. Lower to the wrist. Tricep. Hold. Hold. Down dog. Left leg high. Step forward. Warrior one. Rise up. And again, familiar movements for many of us. Familiar shapes. Right? But even though it's a shape, there's always something else going on internally. So do your best to make this your first warrior one ever on the left side. Press your right foot into the earth behind you. Pull your left hip back in space. Sink a little deeper in that front knee and maybe even look up to the ceiling. Good. Hands to the heart. Warrior two. Opening your hips and your heart. Warrior two in that left knee. Right leg long behind you. Again, sinking deep. Feeling what it might feel like to allow your left knee to cave in, but then pulling it back open. Finding the external rotation through that left leg, left thigh. Good. Stay nice and deep in that front knee. As your breathing starts to deepen, allow it to happen. Slower, deeper breaths. Straighten the front leg, all 10 toes to the front. Lift the arms up, star pose. Warrior two, back to the front of the room. Right knee is bent. Again, staying deep in this front knee. Really committing to the pose. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Again, reaching right fingertips up. As you bend deep into the right knee, keep lifting the left outer leg up to the sky. One more breath. On your exhale, cartwheel, hands down. We'll meet in down dog. Good. Meeting together back in home base. Take a couple breaths. Notice where you're at. How do you feel? The practice will meet you exactly where you are. You just have to allow it. We know the motions. Now we're going to do those same movements, same shapes with our breath. Timing it, moving a little quicker. It's okay if you get lost, but do your best. Right leg high. Good. Right knee, right elbow. Lower it to your right wrist. Back to the elbow. Right leg high, down dog. Step foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale. Warrior two. Exhale. Star pose. Reach up. Inhale. Warrior two to the back. Exhale. Inhale. Reverse. Exhale. Cartwheel. Hands down and flow. Left leg high, stay here, or knee to the elbow. Lower it to the wrist. Back to the elbow. Left leg high. Warrior one. Inhale, rise up. Warrior two, open your arms. Exhale. Star pose, reach up, breathe in. Warrior two to the front. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down. Flow it back to down dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Again, inhale. Full breath out, exhale. Again, one more time. And then you decide to come with us or stay where you're at. Moving through that one more time. Right leg high. Knee to the elbow. Lower it to your wrist. Back to the elbow. Down dog. Right leg high. Warrior one. Good. Warrior two. Star pose. Reach up. Warrior two to the back. Inhale, reverse. Cartwheel, hands down. Flow it out. Left leg high. Good. Knee to the elbow. Lower it to the wrist. Back to the elbow. Left leg high. Warrior one. Rise up. Warrior two. Star pose, reaching up. Warrior two to the front. Inhale, reverse. Cartwheel, hands down. Flow it back. 3 breaths in down dog. Once you find your down dog, decide. Stay in down dog. Maybe drop those knees down for child's pose. Maybe even come down to your forearms, playing with dolphin pose. Building strength through your shoulders. Dolphin pose is like down dog, but on our forearms. Continue to press our chest towards our thighs by using the strength of your shoulders. So forearms are on the earth, they press down into the earth, but then also press forward, moving your chest backwards. Kind of counteract that though by lifting the hips a little higher. 3 more breaths. Keep pressing the earth away with those forearms, keeping your weight from dumping into the shoulders. Good, come back, down dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Walk your hands to the back edge of your mat. Halfway lift and forward fold. Draw your feet together, chair pose, bottom down, heart starts to lift high. Remember, hands can come right away to your heart, or you can lift them up overhead. In the chair pose, belly pulls in. Allow that natural sway in your back as you sink a little bit deeper. Good, hands to your heart. Right arm forward, left arm back. Back to chair in the center. Left arm forward, right arm back. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, chair. Left forward. Inhale, chair. One more each side, right arm forward. Back to chair. Left arm forward. Back to chair, and then forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold down. Rock your head. Let it hang a little bit. Shake it side to side, side to side. Good. With feet still underneath us, chair pose. Sinking our buns down. This time arms behind us like airplane wings. Spread your fingers wide. Palms face the earth. Sink the buns down, but lift the heart up. Now come up onto your tippy toes if you'd like. We're playing with balance of opposites here, right? As we lift our heels up, our butts go down. Lift our hearts up, our arms maybe reach down and back and out. A little higher in those toes. 3, 2, and fold down to the mat. Halfway lift and forward fold. This time rise up all the way to stand. Arms go nice and high overhead. Hands to heart center. Pause. Big breath in. Exhale. Good, listen, inhale, arms up to the sky. Drop the left arm down by your side. Reach the right arm over to the left side, body stretch. Pull the belly in, yeah. Let's come back up, left arm up next to right, and then right arm down by the side, reach the left fingers over towards the right. Notice if your ribs are shooting way far forward, try and keep your body in as straight of line as you can. Engage your legs. Good, inhale, back up tall. Exhale, left hand down, right arm over. Inhale to center, right arm down, left arm over. Inhale, center, left arm down, back to center. Last time, right arm down, left arm to the side. Good, back to center, arms up to the sky. Goalpost those elbows, find a back bend. Stick your hips forward, lift your heart up. Allow your shoulder blades to hold your heart from underneath as you look up to the ceiling. Maybe even drape your eyes backwards. Follow the gaze. Keep lifting, engage those legs. 3, 2, slowly come all the way back up straight. Split your feet apart hip width distance if they are not. Bring your hands around to the fronts of your hips. Find a little generous bend in your knee, and with a flat back, fold yourself forward, going the opposite direction of what you just bent. Once you get down, a momentary ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow, allowing gravity to pull that back bend out of your spine. Good, let's walk our hands forward, meeting in down dog. Right leg lifts high. Good, right knee, right elbow, hold it here, lifting it, holding it, maybe to your tricep. Point your toes, engage your side body, press down into both hands. Good, extend the right leg high behind you. Step forward. Warrior one, rise up. Again, a lot of the times in this practice, we build on where we've been. So we've already been in warrior one. So let's add to that. Find those airplane arms and airplane heart. Pull the belly in. Hands face the earth. Spread those fingers wide. Pull your right hip back behind you. Good. Inhale, rise those arms up, stand up straight. Exhale, airplane body. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, airplane body. One more, inhale, lift. Airplane body, pause. Keep rooting down and out through your left heel. Good, now come to the ball of your left foot, airplane pose. Lift to find that left leg in the air, your right foot still on the earth, pressing down into the ground. A gentle back bend as you spread your fingers wide, reach your sternum forward. Keep pressing down through that right foot. Good, slowly stand up, coming to stand on the right foot, hands to the hips. Bend your left knee. Pause. Extend your left leg forward. Just feeling where you're at. Now cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Setting up for figure 4. So flex those left toes. You can keep your hands on your hips, hands to heart center, as you start to sink into the standing hip opener. Right? So left knee is bent. It's almost like a tree pose or a figure 4. Keep pulling your right hip back in space. You can extend arms forward to sink in the depth of the hip. Maybe you're playing with hand balance. Whatever you're doing, good job. Keep it up. Wobbling, trying, moving, breathing. Good. 2 more breaths. Hands back to the heart if they're not there. Stand back up. Right foot down, left foot forward. Again. 3, 2, tick-tock forward, needle pose. Left leg high, right foot stays down. Breathe in. Left knee behind right in a little ball. Again, inhale, extend. Exhale to crouch. Inhale, extend. Crouch it in. Last time, extend it up. Crouch it in, pause. Keep your left hand down, reach your right arm up to the sky. Finding a crouching, twisted yogi. Draw your left heel up to your butt. Good. 1 more breath. Listen, keep your arms as they are. Step your left foot back. Simple twist. Left leg really strong behind you as you reach your right fingertips up. Keep twisting through your entire body. 3, 2, right hand down inside of right foot. Pedal Move on your feet to a wide-legged forward fold. Toes point slightly inwards. Find a halfway lift spine. And then a forward fold. And really making this forward fold any iteration of a forward fold that feels best to you tonight. Maybe bending deep into one knee and then deep into the other. Perhaps inverting. Your choice, yogi's choice. For those of you still folded forward, play with shifting the weight into the balls of your feet and out of the heels. If your hands are on the earth, work towards 90-degree angles in those elbows. And then point the elbows straight back behind you so they're not flailing out to the sides of the room. Keep pressing the earth away as you lift your hips up. 2 more breaths. Good, let's come back up to a halfway lift spine on your fingertips. And then walk your hands around to the left foot at the back of your mat. Right hand down, left arm to the sky. Simple twist, back edge of your mat. Notice if you can pull your right hip around forward towards your right wrist, squaring the hips a little bit more. 1 more breath. Left hand down, high lunge, rise up. Staying high on the ball of the back foot. Really start to sink into your left hip, to the left knee. If you have low back pain, bend your back knee. Find some softness through your low back. Otherwise, we're really looking for strength and engagement. You can play with a back bend here if that's your jam. Lifting your heart, maybe looking up to the ceiling. But remembering not to just throw your head back, right? We're not about a throat bend, but a back bend. Good, come back up if you're bent backwards, warrior 2. Open your hips and your heart. Find that long stance between your feet. Find the pose where you have to stay present. That pose where you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this for a few more breaths. Because we all know when we're at our edge, that's where progress is made. So cliche, but so true. Left arm down to the thigh, right arm to the sky, side angle pose. Find your variation of side angle, whether it be binding, half binding, staying on the left elbow. We're just trying to rotate everything on the left under the right. Long lines of energy, whatever you're doing. 3 more breaths. Keep pressing down and out through your back leg. 2 more breaths. Good, take your gaze down to the earth, vinyasa. Lifts behind you maybe as you flow it out. Meeting and down dog. Again, that marker, that objective marker. You know what this pose feels like sometimes. Shake your neck out. Good. Let's find a high plank. Before we move to the other side, right hand under the heart, side plank pose. Left arm up. Good. I really try and choreograph these classes so my back is never to the camera, but haven't figured out the side plank variation thing yet. So do your best as you're staying here to press the right hand down. Lift the left arm up. Allow the shaking, the trembling. Reach your edge. 3, 2, high plank. Pause. Just in high plank. A few breaths longer than what you want to be. Front body strong. Left hand under the heart, side plank. Right arm up. Again, anything that's on the earth presses down and everything else really lifts up. We find that blend, not only on our mats, but everywhere else, of being grounded yet also floating, of finding our freedom. 2 more breaths. High plank, pause. Two more breaths. And then flow to down dog. Good. Take a couple breaths here. A couple moments, again, to feel into this body, our physical self. One of the realest things about ourselves, right? Our mind is so good at making things up. Feel that heart beating in your body. There's no way to fake that. Good. Feet together behind you, left leg high. Left knee, left elbow, maybe tricep, hold it in. Maybe play with the arm balance if that's in your practice. Press down into the earth with your hands though. Really engage your right leg, staying high on the tippy toes of that right foot. Good, left leg high behind you, take your time. Warrior one. And again, back to a starting spot. It's kind of hard sometimes. It's like reading your favorite book over and over when you know how it's going to end. Sometimes the fun gets out of it. But what if you looked at every word individually instead of the sentence? Right? Stay with warrior one legs, airplane body. Just reach your fingertips back. Good. Keep pressing your right foot into the earth behind you. Good. Inhale, arms up high. Airplane body, breathe out. Again, inhale to lift. Airplane body. Again, lift it up. Airplane body, pause. Come to the ball of your back foot. Now lift, airplane pose. Lift that right leg up behind you. It's like warrior three, but with a slight back bend, a slight lift of the crown of head, a lift of that right foot, an opening of the heart. Keep pressing down through that left foot as you lift a little higher. Good, slowly come to stand. Left foot stays down, hands to the hips. Pause, now extend your right leg forward. Left foot stays down, your strength, your support. Now cross right ankle over left knee. Figure four as you start to sink those hips back and down. Flex the right toes to protect your knee. Hands perhaps to your heart. Maybe hands reach forward, sinking the hips a little lower, finding more depth in this hip opener. Good, 2 more breaths. Slowly start to come all the way back up, meeting each other. Right leg forward. Now tick-tock yourself into standing splits. Right leg lifts behind you, left leg up. Breathe in. Tuck the right knee behind the left. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, crouch. Inhale, lift. Crouch it in. I can't remember one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crouch it in, pause. Right fingertips stay down, left arm reaches up. Pull the right heel to your butt. Pull your belly in. Good, keep your arms, step your right foot back. Finding that simple twist. You've been here already. See if you can't deepen the twist a little bit, especially from your belly button up. So instead of just throwing your left hand back further in space, see if you can move your left shoulder. Good, 3, 2, left hand down inside of left foot. Walk your hands around, finding that wide-legged forward fold. Again, yogi's choice this time, wide-legged forward fold, maybe finding a hand balance, maybe finding a rinse for the shoulders, interlacing fingers behind the small of your back, and then surrendering over those folded legs. Perhaps playing headstand, crow pose, skandasana, moving back and forth, right to left, right to left. If you're upside down, let me take that back. If you're in a wide-legged forward fold upside down, let your head hang. Those of you headstand, I'm not sure how your head would hang. By all means, try. Those of you in a fold, keep lifting your heels energetically as you shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Keep lifting those sit bones up as you allow the crown of your head to reach towards the earth. 2 more breaths. Good. Reach your hands down to the mat. Find a halfway lift spine. And then walk your hands around to the front of your mat. Left hand down, right arm to the sky, revisiting that simple twist. Good. Take another breath. Right hand down, high lunge, rise up. Again, finding the high lunge that serves your body best tonight. If you feel really wobbly, move your right foot a little more to the right or your left foot a little more to the left. See what you can do to avoid an unnatural curve in your low back. So if you're really sticking your butt out behind you, see if you can come up a little bit higher through your belly. Maybe explore the back bend. Good, and then come back up if you're bent backwards, warrior 2. Again, treating this pose like you've never met it before. Like it's simply one word on a page of 1,000 that you've decided to say hello to. Good, keep your distance in your right side body from your right hip crease to your right armpit, and then find side angle pose, right elbow down, left arm to the sky. Again, any variation that's in your practice, binds, half binds. However, don't get carried away with trying to touch the earth with those right fingertips. We don't want to compromise the integrity of our heart, the long line in our spine, the channel for our breath and energy. So if you find yourself folded in half, just to make this happen, back out a little. 3 more breaths. Good, 2 more breaths. Good, start to look down at your right foot. Hands come down, frame the foot, and flow. Good, we'll take a breath in and a breath out. Again, inhale and exhale. Drop your knees down to the mat. Coming back to a tabletop pose. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Thread that right arm underneath you. Bringing your right cheek down to the mat, maybe to a block or a blanket. Finding a shoulder opener here. Shift your weight around until you feel a stretch in your right shoulder. There's always variations to this pose. Left arm can reach forward. Left leg can reach back. You can even play with extending the left leg up into the sky. Again, just remembering that we would never know what balance felt like if we didn't know the opposite. Right? So feel the jiggles, feel the wobbles. You're building strength, character, resilience. 1 more breath. If the leg's in the air, bring the leg down. If the left arm's forward, bring the left arm back. Press into your left hand. Reach your right arm up. Rotate the wrist around. Good. Left arm reaches up this time. And then slides underneath you. Left cheek to the mat. And then explore the option on this side. Right arm perhaps reaching forward. Right leg reaching back. Again, totally up to you if you play with floating that leg or not. Couple more breaths. Good. Bring your right knee down. Right hand under the heart. Left arm back up to the sky. Rotate the wrist. Left hand down. Curl your toes under. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Lift your right leg up. Good. Step your right foot up between your hands. Pause, half moon, walk your right fingertips forward, press into the right foot so you can find length. Start to lift the left side up on top of the right, just like you just did in that side angle pose. Maybe come to the fingertips of that right hand. Maybe play with floating the right fingertips, or even bring your right fingertips to your right shin. That's what I like to do, and then press my right shin and fingers together to extend out the crown of my head. I don't know if it's an official way of half moon, but helps me find length in my side body, that's for sure. 2 more breaths. Standing splits, curl everything to the earth. Crown of head down to the mat. Allow your belly to come closer to your right thigh. Belly button, that is. Good, 1 more breath. Step your left foot to the back edge of your mat. Drop your left knee down. Bend into your right knee. Hands come to your right knee. Perhaps you can reach up overhead. You can explore a back bend if you'd like. And we're just breathing deep into our hips here. When you're in this low lunge, it's easy to sink into your flexibility. So also engage your strength, pulling your inner thighs towards each other. Keep lifting your heart up. Good, hands come down. If you can stay in low lunge if you want, otherwise half splits or full splits is where we're headed. Coming to the heel of the right foot. Make sure your spine is long. Tiny adjustments as you pull your right hip crease up and back slightly. Right, it's normal for our right hip to come forward to accommodate this pose. But keeping your left knee and left foot where it is, just lift that right hip up a little bit and pull it back behind you. Think about energy coming from the crown of your head or your nose to your toes, instead of worrying about falling onto that right knee. Good, we got 2 more breaths here. Good, let's start to bend back into the front knee, finding that low lunge again. Options from here. Left hand to right knee, right hand to right hip, maybe right arm back as you find a twist. You're welcome to hook the left elbow, knee, find a little bit deeper. Lunge, a crescent warrior with a twist. Pull your belly in to accommodate the twist. Good. Notice if your right hip is forward, pull it back. Right hip crease back and up just a little bit. Sink a little deeper through those hips, bend through that right knee, twist it out. 3, 2, good. Hands back down to the earth. Drop your left knee, shimmy your right foot over to your left wrist for half pigeon. If you prefer half pigeon on your back, you're welcome to move there. We've been into our hips surprisingly quite a bit in this class. So rather than, finding the best stretch ever, let's find some good alignment. So pull your right hip crease back behind you again. I know, continual theme. And then start to forward fold if you'd like. Folding over that right hip. Sometimes when we find the different alignment, we don't get as, quote, deep into the pose as we're used to. And sometimes it seems like that kind of happens in our real world as well, right? We might put a boundary up. We might have certain rules or guidelines that we put in front of ourselves to make ourselves healthy. And the result at first can feel like we don't get as deep into those things, right? We might feel like we're pushing people away. We might feel like we're not letting people in. But in reality, right, we're setting ourselves up to get deeper into those healthier poses. Couple more breaths here. Good, and if you're down on your forearms, come back up onto your hands. Curl the left toes under, down dog. Find your way there. Shake that right leg out. We've been into that hip quite a bit. Good, let's lift the left leg high. When you're ready, step the left foot forward. Half moon, walk those left fingertips forward. Start to lift everything on the right side up. Again, maybe playing with coming to the finger pads of the left hand. Maybe left fingers to your shin. As you press the shin away, finding length through your spine, out the crown of your head, core strength, really holding this pose up. Good, 2 more breaths. 1 more. Square everything down, half splits. Standing splits. Crown of head down towards the earth. Lift that right leg up. Again, angle your belly button more towards your left thigh. Surrender down. 1 more breath. Step the right foot all the way back. Drop down to your right knee. Low lunge. Again, resisting that temptation to sink into your flexibility. And instead find that spot where flexibility and strength can meet. As you pull your inner thighs towards each other, or maybe think about it instead of dragging your left heel back slightly, dragging your right knee forward slightly. I'm talking micro slight movements. Hips aligned, heart lifts, maybe explore a back bend. You're welcome to stay here or start to come out of the back bend. Half splits is where we're headed. Come to the heel of the left foot. Again, we're thinking about lifting the left hip crease up and slightly back. Again, tiny movements, tiny adjustments. If you can engage your left thigh muscle, so like make that left thigh muscle turn on, you might notice a slightly deeper stretch through the back of that left leg. And every time we slow down and pause, an opportunity to come back to our breath. Good, let's bend deep into the front knee again, setting up for that twist. Right hand to left knee, left hand to left hip, or maybe extending left arm backwards, or right elbow by left knee, maybe popping that right knee off the earth. Again, no pose is better than any other. It's about feeling, how's your back tonight, right? Twists often affect our backs. How's your heart? How's your belly? Your core? Can you keep that back leg engaged? Good, and keep externally rotating that left knee so you're not caving in on the left side of your body. 2 more breaths. Good, start to come out of the twist. Right knee down, shimmy your left foot over for a half pigeon. Again, setting up for some alignment first. So before you go into the pose, see if you can get your hips square to the front of your mat, which means really feeling your left hip pulling up and back behind you, and then considering lowering down. And even when you're in the pose already, you can still come back to those alignments, right? Even when we're in situations already, we can come back to those things that help us get into a deeper, more safe pose. So if you're folded forward, think about pulling your right hip forward as you sink your left hip back, like tiny movements, tiny, tiny movements. Feel what it feels like to press your left shin down into the mat. And feel what it feels like to release that left shin from that pressure. 2 more breaths. Let's start to come up onto our hands. Roll onto your left hip. Bring your right leg around in front of you. And then slowly lower down onto your back. Set it for one more thing, one more back bend before a final twist in a Savasana. So with feet on the earth, legs hip-width distance, knees up to the sky, fingers grazing where your heels are. Start to lift those hips up and maybe move your way into a bridge. If you have a block and you want to find a supported bridge with that block under those hips, you're fine to do that. Or maybe explore wheel, still keeping those hips off of the earth, but instead finding the back of your back lifted as well. Whether you're in wheel or bridge, do your best to release your glutes, right? So don't squeeze your butt. Soften through your bottom and use your legs to lift a little bit higher. Press down through your big toes especially. Draw your inner thighs towards each other, almost like there's that imaginary block. 2 more breaths. And then slowly come down, bone by bone by bone by bone. Good. Let your left leg go long on the mat. Find a half happy baby on the right side. So right knee comes towards the outer edge of your right side body. And grab onto the bottom of your right foot. Good. Now take your shin hand and drape that side across your body. So right leg coming over left for a supine twist. Gaze towards those right fingertips. Find a little softness through your belly. Good, and then let's come back to center. Right leg long. Draw that left knee up into the outer edge of your body and then find a half happy baby. Bottom of your left foot points up to the sky and you draw your left knee down towards the earth. Finding a big stretch through the back of your left leg, through your low back, to your inner left thigh. Feeling all the feels. One more breath. Good. Take that leg across your body to the right side. Take your gaze to the left. Find a twist. And then come back to center. Get out any wiggles that you might have through your legs and your arms. Finding yourself on your back for a little savasana. A brief moment of pause. Perhaps the signal of the end of our class here together, but really the continuation of our practice out in the world. So notice any more stillness that perhaps has come through your body over the last 60 minutes. Any shifts in your feelings, your attitudes. And any greater awareness of your presence here on this beautiful planet. And start to deepen your breath, drawing deeper breaths into this body. Follow each of those deeper inhales with a full, complete, emptying exhale. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers if you're ready to move. Good, and then roll onto one of your sides. And once you arrive there, for a brief moment, offer a little gratitude towards yourself for making the choice to hit pause on the rest of life and to put play on taking care of yourself. Hit play on a little self-care, a little bit of connection. And then we'll slowly find our way up to our seat. Once you find your seat, you're welcome to keep your eyes blinked closed. Rock your hips right to left. Feel your sit bones on the earth. Remind yourself how connected you are to this planet and everything on it, no matter how alone you sometimes might feel. Draw the crown of your head up. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and roll those shoulder blades down your back. Now hands to heart center, thumb knuckles into heart space, really feeling the realness of this breath, this body, this moment. Just like I shared with my beautiful orchid, how I thought it could only bloom once. I just had to be patient and let it sit and let divine timing, divine nature have its way. So just a few breaths for the rest of the week, a few moments, a few seconds. When you feel that urge to hurry things along, take a pause, take a breath, and then start again. It's truly been an honor to lead you through this practice, to share my time, my heart, my spirit with you. May the light in you see, honor, and respect the light in everyone around you. I know that when I am in that spot in me and you're in that spot in you, we truly are one. Namaste.